This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you the initial checkout and repair video of a VTech model number 2431, and this is Maria's telephone. And basically what's happened here is this handset is a speakerphone and a regular cordless phone, but yet the base has a speakerphone on it also. So what I want to do, since this is the initial checkout, is I want to go ahead, I'm going to hang up, I'm going to hit the speakerphone here. I want to turn that off, hit the speakerphone. And I want to hit the numbers. Now it's starting to hit all the numbers, but I can tell that the keypad is dirty. Because it's not hitting all of them all the time. But the other problem is, I'm going to turn it off. I want to move it into a regular telephone line. And when I turn the phone on, I'm going to give you some dial tone. I have another telephone. I'm going to dial it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Hello. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, 1, 2, 3. You can hear, I'm going to hang up now, you can hear that this telephone basically on the transmit, there's something wrong with the transmit circuit. It's real choppy, and all it does is, I'm going to move it over into, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to dial it to, I'm going to transmit or blow into the handset. See how that red light on the analyzer is real choppy? There's something wrong with the transmit circuit. And so basically we have to go in and troubleshoot this telephone. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take a break from the video, and I'm going to go through this handset, and we're going to troubleshoot the handset. But I want to try something one more time. Dial 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see that the handset does not have the modulation and that it's real choppy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hang up. And we'll start taking this telephone apart. And then we're going to probably, like I said earlier, we're probably going to stop the video, and then I can start a troubleshooting process. This will give you somewhat of a look at the inside of this telephone before we start our process. They don't give you much room here with the speakerphone option. There's a speaker in the back of the handset, but I'm going to start pulling this up, this board, the main PC board of the handset. And we're going to have to troubleshoot out what the problem is with the transmit not working properly. And the numbers aren't hitting real well either. Okay, I can tell. Now, I don't know if the video is picking this up, but I can see a whole lot of wetness from something being spilt into this telephone here. It's also probably gotten into the microphone, or we're going to have to check all the processor here and all the circuitry and make sure nothing's shorting out as we're trying to modulate on the telephone. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and we'll be right back with you as soon as I do my troubleshooting, and we'll kind of go from there. So we'll be right back. Okay, another issue now that we're back. I'm not done totally troubleshooting this telephone, and I'm not sure that the video is picking this up, but there's a capacitor that was added at the factory, and it looks damaged. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot that. That's another issue. It looks like this. Now I'm going to troubleshoot it, but it almost looks like a electrolytic capacitor that has taken a surge. And since this capacitor is in a board that only takes 2 or 3, 4 volts with a little battery here, a capacitor that's that badly damaged, normally in another type of circuit you would think you would equate this damage here where the bottom of the capacitor popping out, because these capacitors can blow up like a firecracker. It almost seems to me like that capacitor in such a low voltage rating has been connected up backwards, so like they got reverse polarity on it. But that'll be another issue that we'll check, and I wanted to kind of get that into the video. That capacitor is damaged, and I can tell just from experience where it's popping out. There's something wrong with that capacitor. Now, is that the problem why it's not transmitting? I'm not sure at this point, but we're definitely going to change that capacitor, and we'll be back here in a second, and I'll go ahead and do some more troubleshooting, and we'll kind of get back with you here in a second. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I'm not really all the way through my troubleshooting process here, but really what it comes down to is this capacitor that I took out. I'm going to show it to you here real quick. This capacitor that we found on the main PC board, I know to be damaged because I can see the end of the capacitor protruding out of the end of the capacitor, and so I know that's been damaged. And like I said earlier, I don't know if the video is picking it up, but you would relate a capacitor that looks like that or bowed out from the top, as this one is. You can see it's almost rounded. It's supposed to be flat, with a capacitor that took a surge in a much higher rated circuit. And since this circuit's only a couple of volts, I was thinking that this capacitor might have been installed wrong or improperly from the factory, but that doesn't look like the case either. It just may have shorted, and that's what's caused this to almost explode, because these capacitors can blow up just like a firecracker. So anyway, what I want to show you is we're at this part of the repair right now, and in the middle of the repair process. I'm going to go ahead and turn the phone on. You see it sees the analyzer. I'm going to dial it 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk. And as you can see, just me talking from this far away, you can see how bright 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. You can see how bright the modulation is now, and that's 100% modulation, and that it's not choppy anymore. And that's what this capacitor was doing. It was regulating circuitry that it affected the transmit. Now I'm going to turn off the handset. I'm going to move the handset over to a regular line, I'm going to go ahead and turn a telephone on, which is another telephone. I'm going to turn this one on now. I'm going to dial it 2, and I'm going to talk into this handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And although that might sound a little loud, it's basically because it's out of the handset now, and we know that this telephone has modulation. I'm going to dial it 2. It's back over in the analyzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that this handset is working properly now. And as soon as I'm having to hold it together right now, but as soon as I get it all back together again, because I want to clean the dial board, I also want to clean the dial pad, and I also want to go through here and repair any kind of solder that I find on the board. But we basically know now that this capacitor here was failing, and actually it was getting ready to probably explode at some point, just because it's beveled out here, and the bottom of it has started to protrude from the capacitor. So that was an issue we took care of. And now what I want to do is I have to stop the video for a bit. We'll be right back. I'm going to do some cleaning, I'm going to do some resoldering, and then we're going to do some rechecking. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back now, and what we've done is I went ahead and cleaned the board. I cleaned the pad. Also went through the circuit board. I touched up some solder where I didn't like it on both ends of the board and around the processor. So that's all taken care of. One of the last things that I want to do is I want to go ahead and stabilize this capacitor that we put in. Now this capacitor that was originally from the factory, which I find to be pretty large capacitor for this circuit, is a 1000 microfarad, but it was rated at 6.3 volts. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and take some of the hot glue that they had originally used to put our replacement capacitor in. Now, as you can see, they're physically a little bit different in size. And the reason for that is the one that I installed as a replacement, I wanted to go with a higher voltage rating, so I went with 10 volts. And so now it has a 10 volt in it. And what I want to do here is I want to take and I want to use some of this hot glue. I could hot glue it, but I already have this piece here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and melt this into it with my soldering gun. And I do have a hot glue gun, but what I want to do is just go ahead and use what we've got here. And I'll go ahead and hot glue that in. It's just as simple to do it this way. Then I'll hold the circuit board like this for a minute and let that hot glue set up. And that should stabilize that capacitor now. Give that a second to set up. While we're doing that, I can let that dry. I'll go ahead and install our keypad. Also want to check this real quick. You probably won't be able to hear this on the video, but I'll set the meter pretty close. I want to check all my conductive material. Okay, we're back now. Our video shut down because I had too much information on the video, so now we cleared out some of that, and we're going to go ahead and get back to what we were doing. Basically, I was talking about the meter. I've got a meter here, and you may not be able to hear it, but I'm going to set the meter pretty close, and you might be able to hear these tones. I want to check this keypad. For conductive material. Okay, they all check out good now that that's been cleaned. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start putting the unit back together again. We have our capacitor stabilized now, the hot glue's dry. We've cleaned all of our connections and our dial board. And so now we're just going to be putting the telephone back together again. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Try to get this to lay in properly. Make sure we get our charging plates back to normal. And we'll get some of these screws back in here now. They can be kind of pesky sometimes. Got about 4 or 5 of these guys to go. As soon as we get this back together again, we'll do some final checks. Okay, want to take a final look at it. Slide everything back together. Battery's been cleaned, all the contacts have been cleaned. It's coming up VTech. found. I'm going to go ahead and set it in the charger for a second. Go ahead and ring it. We're going to hit hands-free. We're going to dial our numbers. We're going to end in a 2. I'm going to go ahead and talk, and as you can see, just even from being this far away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see that the analyzer is steady now when I blow into the phone. And before it was real choppy. So we know that the telephone is repaired, and we know that it's got modulation, and we know it has transmit, which is the same thing, and we know it has receive. So I'm going to hang up. I'm going to turn it on. I want to hit speakerphone. I want to turn it down a little bit. Now what we want to do is I want to hang up, get some speakerphone here.
Thank you for calling Walmart.
We'll see what they got to say today.
Thanks for calling Walmart. How may I help?
Yeah, can you give me electronics real quick, please?
Yes, hold on.
Electronics.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Hey, listen, do you got any telephones over there that have the old bells or the old bell sound on them?
Honestly, man, I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they all come with different sounds, so I don't know.
Yeah, most of them.
I've got one on my phone, but I had to download it from online. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, you mean like an old ring sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that a bummer?
Yeah.
It's a shame they can't make a cell phone with these big 2 giant bells on the top of it that just cling all the time.
Right, yeah, that you can actually hear.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
All right, well, we're going to have to invent that, man. We'll get together on it.
All right.
All right. You take care, dude.
You too. Bye.
All right, catch you later. Okay, so we know that this telephone works. Let's try a couple other things here. Let's call time and temp again.
Good afternoon. Shop our entire location online anytime at Offenburg.com. Today is Monday, January 16th. The time is 4:36. Current temperature 68 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area. Occasional showers and thunderstorms likely tonight, breezy with a low in the low 40s. Mostly cloudy and windy and much colder on Tuesday. Chance of rain early in the morning, partly cloudy in the late afternoon. A high in the low 40s, temperature falling into the 30s. Northwest wind gusting to 35.
Okay, so we know that this telephone is repaired now, and Marie can start using her telephone again. And this is a VTech model 2431, and it's been taken care of. And one of the major problems with this telephone was this capacitor that caused us a problem here. And you could almost, I don't know if the video is picking it up or not, but you can see how the capacitor is starting to basically come apart, and the end here is coming out and the top is bowed. So that will always be an indication when it has physical damage of an electrolytic capacitor. Now, don't always expect a capacitor to do that, because you know, there's only one of a few that'll do this once in a while. Most of the time you have to pull them out of circuit, and you got to check for their capacitance. But once that was replaced, that got our modulation back, and so our transmit is fine now. And it's all in troubleshooting. You have to troubleshoot the telephone, then you have to repair it. And that's, just how you have to do it. So this is Marie's telephone, and this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.